Hey everybody, welcome to the video where today we go ahead and discuss exactly what's in the Zazzle tagging course. So if you guys know, this is nothing new for us on Print on Demand. Zazzle is one of the many websites out there, and Zazzle is one of the places that really, you can do a lot of damage on there in terms of an income. Today we're going to be talking about exactly what's in this Zazzle tagging course if you decide that you want or need help in that specific area. Okay, so with Zazzle specifically, Zazzle is a completely different platform than Redbubble, than Etsy, than all these other platforms, Merch by Amazon. The list goes on and on and on. Zazzle is extremely different for one of the main reasons that you are able to customize products, and that's unlike most, not all, but most of the different platforms that we see today in the marketplace. Now, before we talk about what's inside the course, I want to go ahead and talk to you guys about my journey with Zazzle. So in terms of Zazzle, some of you may know this because I have spoken about this before. Some of you may not have known this. With Zazzle specifically, when I first started, I was not successful on Zazzle at all. And this was very odd to me because I had been and had achieved significant success in other platforms. Just for example, Redbubble, within the first month, I had a decent amount of success. I had over $300 in income on my very first month on Redbubble. And the amateur I was at Zazzle, I thought that I would achieve the same kind of results. I thought it was easy. I thought I could just take designs from other platforms and put them on and, experience great sales, and it was no big deal, but I was wrong. And I couldn't put my thumb on it at first. I couldn't figure out what made it different, but then luckily I had gotten a random sale. And this random sale came 3 months, roughly 3 months after me creating my first Zazzle account. And so it took me over 3 months to get my first sale, a little bit past 90 days. Within that period of 90 days, I had extreme amounts of dedication. I worked as hard as I possibly could. I uploaded over 1,000 designs to Zazzle, but I was struggling. I was struggling a lot because I wasn't making any money. I had nothing to prove, nothing to show for. The only thing is after that period of time where I had nothing to show for, nothing to prove, no money, I got lucky, and I got a sale. That sale was 100 units of a keychain. It was a bulk order. And that, I think the amount sold for about $200 and something, maybe $210 without taxes and things like that, without shipping or anything. And it really made me think. I got very, very curious, and I started to think, why did I, out of all the designs that I have, and I have almost 1,000, why out of all my designs did this one product sell? Based on my knowledge from other platforms, I knew for a fact that there was no mysteries, there was no, there's no luck to anything. There's no random kind of approach to anything. Everything happens for a reason. And so I sat down and thought about it. I couldn't put my thumb on what it was. So I decided to go on a testing mode, to experience all different kinds of things, to test different things, even if I knew if it wasn't going to work. And through that process, I had a lot of guesses on what actually could work, a lot of hypotheses, as the scientists would say. And through that process, I kind of assumed that certain things would work and not work, and some of my, hypotheses were proven to be false. They would be incorrect. They weren't validated. But some of my other hypotheses were proven true. And throughout this 9-month period of me testing, I finally was able to solidify a little bit of my tagging approach through Zazzle. The thing that I was unconfident about is through this 9-month period, the number of sales were increasing, but like I said, I couldn't have put my thumb on exactly why. Well, come to find out, time after time, day after day, month after month of experimenting, testing, and learning, I came up with a list of things that were essentially a guide for me to learn how to tag properly. To every single design in the future, different characteristics that make tagging successful on a specific product. These were the list of characteristics that I had acquired. And in order for me to fully understand what was in that list, I would describe every part of that list, and I would explain to myself why it worked and different examples of it, and I would sit there and test for months on end. what I learned is that Zazzle tagging, the proper way of tagging, is a surefire way to get your design seen. For me, I had no problem with the design aspect. I always tell anybody who ever asks me for advice in terms of print on demand, I always say there's two components to getting your product sold. You have to get them seen, and then the consumer has to have enough of a desire to actually pay for the product, right? Because not every consumer has a genuine buying purpose. Not every single consumer comes to your product and has an intent to buy, right? Maybe some consumers are just window shopping, some consumers are just looking, some consumers are just interested, and they're not even interested in consuming. They want to see what's going on. Not every consumer or not every visitor has the intent to buy. And through my learnings, through my processes, I learned, okay, there are certain surefire characteristics of things what you should not do when it comes to Zazzle tagging, and things that you should do when it comes to Zazzle tagging. And the more things that you don't do that are negative and that, you shouldn't do, and the more things that you do that are positive, you're increasing your chance not only to have your artwork seen, but to get better results in terms of Zazzle tagging, to get a chance to get your products to sell. And so this course is just a library, an accumulation of the knowledge that I have specifically learned. The price of the course is $39.99, and I'm about to show you everything that's in the course. But before we do, we need to go ahead and talk about the disclaimers as we do in every course. This disclaimer is rather simple. Zazzle.com is not affiliated with their course. It's not like they're putting their stamp of approval on this course. Like I said, this is just my personal findings. So that 9 months of hard work that I sat down trying to figure out exactly what works and what doesn't, that's the information you're getting access to, so you don't have to sit there and do it yourself. But hey, if you want to do it, go ahead and knock yourself out. Something I specifically say in this course is that this course is not for everybody. It's not for everybody. If you're looking for a get-rich-quick scheme, this is not it. This is strictly not a get-rich-quick scheme. This will not make you rich fast. I can tell you that through a period of 9 months, within 30 days, I was able to become a level 3 seller. If you're aware of what a level 3 seller is, that's not getting rich quick, okay? Level 3 seller means between $4,999 US to over $1,000 a month on Zazzle. So that's not getting rich quick, right? Some people need way more than that to sustain them on a monthly basis. It's a nice income, but it's not getting rich quick. So if you're looking to get rich quick, this is not a promise of that course, okay, of this course. I can't promise you that. If you're looking to be a certain level of seller, whether you're a level 3, level 2, level 1, etc., this is not promising you that either, because I cannot control who's behind on that screen and the actions that they do. So I'm not promising you a certain result. All I'm promising you is giving you access to the information that I personally learned through this 9-month period, okay? So once again, you're getting paid access to a library of information that I personally went out and searched for myself, okay? Through experimentation, through reading, through testing, over a very long period of time, these are the results that I found. Let's go ahead and now log into the course. Before we do, actually, I might want to add here that this is the curriculum. You can view what the curriculum is before entering or before purchasing the course. So you can see here, here's an image of how the course looks like from the inside, and we have Module 1, we have workshops, and Module 2. Workshops are essentially little quizzes or little interactive experiences between the modules. So right before Module 1, we have a workshop. After Module 1, we have a workshop, and after Module 2, we have a workshop. Now, I'll explain what the purpose of these workshops are once we get into the back end of the course so you can actually access the content. But the full course, once again, you have worksheets and cheat sheets, which are for your tests, for your quizzes, right? Which are our workshops. We have our 2 modules here, and the 2 modules are very strict and very straight to the point. The first module we talk about is what not to tag, so certain words or certain characteristics or certain things that you should not be adding in your tags, and then after workshops and things like that, we go into how to tag. And going to see everything about that. You can go ahead and read through a little bit of my story here. I add that information there as well, along with some Q&A. Let's go ahead and get into the actual course. Once you purchase the course, you will be presented, or once you try to purchase by clicking sign up now, you'll be presented with a pop-up for you to access, type in all your information, type in your email, type in your password, etc. And once you are ready to actually access the content of the course, you're going to be redirected to the page that I'm going to show you. But for the future, if you ever come back and you want to learn more content, click on this access course content and it will take you to the back end of the course. The only way you're going to be able to access the back end of the course if you actually had purchased it. For example, if we go over here to an incognito tab and I just type in the name of our website here and I click on our Zazzle tagging course button, if we click access course, you won't be able to access it. It will ask you for your email and password login information, and this is the same information that you enter upon purchasing the course. Okay, so when you click sign up now, you can see here, it will ask you for your name, your email address, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so now let's go ahead and jump into what's actually in the back end. So we have our introduction, which is just to explain the importance of tagging, and then right after that, we have a workshop. The process of the workshop and the importance of the workshop is to create a written documentation of the level of the success that you're at when it comes to Zazzle tagging. So the reason why we do this is because this workshop is a good report card, if you will, to see on a semesterly basis how well you're going to be doing after each module. So the first workshop is we're going to present a certain design for you, and we're going to say add 5 tag this product with 5 different words, 5 different tags. And it's your job to produce a list of those 5 tags. And we're going to, and you, like I said, once you click on this link, everything will be there for you to learn. Once you do that, you take that list and you put it to the side. Okay? After you put that list to the side, then what we're going to do is we're going to jump into the module here for what not to do. Okay? Lessons 1 through 6 is exactly what not to do when it comes to tagging. After we complete those lessons, you will have access to workshop number 2, which we will take that same list, put it to the side, and create a new list based on what you have learned of what not to do. Now, in lesson number 5, we're going to have a interactive kind of, I would call it a workshop, but I would call it an interactive episode at the end where we ask you in a Q&A type of fashion, what would you do in certain situations? And we go over those answers in lesson number 6, okay? Workshop number 2, like I said, is now based on all the information you learned in module number 1 to re-tag what we had once tagged in workshop 1. It's okay if your answers are the same or they're different. This is based on purely just what you've learned, and now you can actually prove the tags on a basis of learning. So you could say, okay, I know to use this keyword or not to use this keyword through my tags because of the information I learned in module 1. Then what we do is we hop onto module workshop number 1, and we compare workshop number 1's results to workshop number 2's results, and we see how they differ, okay? It's all about comparison. It's all about understanding. The next thing after that is we go over module 2. Now, module 2 has 2 longer episodes here, which are the first 2 episodes. I think together they're close to about an hour. I think one is 28 minutes, the other one is 22 minutes roughly, or 23 minutes. And then we have a few other, 2 other episodes. And then after that, we have a cheat sheet. So the cheat sheet you can find also in episode 2 or part 2 of module 2. And what that is a cheat sheet that's giving you a exact type of strategy to add certain keywords to your tag style. So we give the almost like I wouldn't call it a how-to, but literally like almost like a list or a cheat sheet of exactly how to tag. And we explain each concept, and that cheat sheet is there to help you so that whenever you end up tagging in the future, right, when you're tagging on Zazzle, you get access to that cheat sheet, and you can log in here whenever you want. As long as you're a customer here, you get to log in whenever you want, access that cheat sheet whenever you want, and you'll be able to use the cheat sheet to be able to tag stuff into the future. So you create 100 designs in the future, you use the cheat sheet to give you the guides. And then finally, after all that, we have workshop number 3, which finally we're presented with the third workshop, which is the same design as workshop number 2. And we're asking you now to create a list of new tags based on what you learned on how to tag. So I want to just give you some perspective here. In the very beginning, you didn't know what to do, or there was no information on tagging, and we asked you to tag. Then we gave you information on exactly what not to do when it comes to tagging, so that you can look at your old list and come up with a new list based on now you know what not to do. So get rid of the old stuff that shouldn't have been there. Then finally, we learn about what exactly we should be doing when it comes to tagging with the exact game plan to tagging. And then we create a new list for that new design. We go over the answers in that. That's why if you notice in workshop number 2 and workshop number 3 in the curriculum, where we go over here on the curriculum schedule, you could check that there are part 2s to each of them. So workshop number 2 has part 1, workshop number 2 has part 2, and workshop number 3 has a part 1 and a part 2. And the part 2 is just where we discuss what should have been on that paper, okay, when you come up with your list. So you're getting exactly what I'm describing here, which is a Zazzle tagging guide and an interactive aspect to it. There's no mysteries here. There's no surprises. This is exactly what you're going to get. It's not get rich quick. Once again, it's not something that's going to, stupefy your levels of success. It's just going to give you a maintenance and kind of just understand how to actually tag properly, or at least in my opinion, how I tag properly and how I do it for my business, okay? So thank you guys for watching this video. I will leave the link in the description to this course along with the first line in the comments. And once again, if you're watching this straight on the website, the Autopilot Passive Income website, or you're even watching on the YouTube channel, I want to go ahead and welcome everybody to the course, and I will see you guys on the other side. See ya. Peace.